is a result of parental failure. Tovia is supporting the motion, and Kalu, Chinaza, Sapphire will be opposing the motion. As always, we have 3 minutes on the clock. So the first debater, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready? Come closer to the microphone, please. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, you have 3 minutes on the clock. We'll reset it. Your time starts now.
Panel of judges, moderator, my co-debater, and my audience. My name is Ejekwu Tovia, and I'm here to propose a motion which states that cultism in school is as a result of parental failure. What is cultism? Cultism is a secret society which is not open to everybody. This brings us to the topic, cultism in school is as a result of parental failure, with these points. Number 1, compromise by parents. Most parents have compromised their roles as the builders of characters in children. In a society, a child is the greatest asset a community can ever have. But most parents decide to turn the other way instead of instilling discipline on that child. Number 2, most parents do not spend time with their children to get to know them better and observe them because of excessive lust for money. Number 3, most parents do not monitor their children's exposure to violent media, messages, and movies, which may lead to moral vices. Number 4, lastly, whether you like it or not, the family, which is headed by the parents, is the first agent of socialization. Failure to bring up a decent child starts from the foundation set by the parents. I hope with these points of mine, I have convinced my opponent here that cultism in school is as a result of parental failure. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. She was done under a minute and 45 seconds. You still have a whole minute to have your rebuttal. So, in a bid, it's probably good for her. She can marshal out her points in the time for her rebuttal. It's time to get to listen now to the debater who is opposing the motion, and her name is Chinaza, Sapphire. But before that, a quick break. Stay tuned.
Is I Beg to Differ on 92.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation continues in a moment.
It's all talk and more talk on Nigerians' #1 talk station.
This country needs a marshal, needs a sheriff.
In some particular
Nigeria Info, I beg to differ. The very first round, cultism in schools is a result of parental failure. We've listened to Ejekwu Tovia, who supports the motion. It's now time to listen to Kalu, Chinaza, Sapphire, who is against the motion. I'm going to bring her to the microphone. Kalu, are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, all right. Deep breaths, please. Deep breaths, relax. Here we go. It's just a walk in the park. Okay, all right. So once again, the topic is cultism in schools is a result of parental failure. You have 3 minutes on the clock. I'm going to reset it. I'm going to ask you, is it time? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
3 minutes. Your time on the clock starts now.
The panel of judges, moderator, my co-debater, and audience. My name is Sapphire Seekhalm. I am a student of Royalville High School, and I'm here to oppose the motion which states that cultism in school is a result of parental failure. But then, what is cultism? Cultism is derived from cult, simply means secret organization. Hence, cultism refers to the belonging of a secret organization that is mostly violent and deadly. This topic refers to cultism in schools and not at home. So why should parents be blamed for what happens in school under the controls of teachers? It will not be fair, and my opponent knows it. Here are my points. Lack of discipline. Most public schools lack tools used for disciplining children, especially cultists. Formerly, back in the day, they usually expelled these children from the school permanently or send them to special school for harder discipline. 2. Greed for financial gain. Most school owners have the fear of losing children from their school and tend not to expel these cultists. This may lead to negative influence and peer pressure. 3. Lack of empathy. Some teachers lack empathy on children who tend to practice cultism. This may lead on children who tend to practice cultism. Focusing on discipline without empathy can only lead to rebellion. 4. Social moral decay. What can parents do when the society at large worship money and violence? Come to think of it, a child is influenced more by the society than the parent. Other points include lack of set rules, absence of special schools for juveniles. I believe with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince my opponent that cultism in school is not a result of parental failure. Thanks.
All right, just under 2 minutes. That's where we have both of them. To get quickly to the rebuttal. Don't forget, you can follow us live on Facebook at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. Wherever you are in the world, join us as we get to hear and see some of the brightest and best minds from this region. I beg to differ debate returns.
This is I Beg to Differ on 92.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation continues in a moment. To thrive in a fast-changing world.
Tune to 92.3 Nigeria Info for the best of news, talk and sports 24/7. The details, the stories, this updates, the #1 station for talk brings it all.
Nigeria politics.
All right, 90.3 Nigeria Info. My guests this morning are already anxious. They are reaching to go. Some of them are in a sort of pressure, but once again, it's all good nature competition, and you can understand their nerves. So it's time for us to get to hear the rebuttal statements, and we'll start with the opposer of the motion, which is Chinaza. So she will start once again with the same number slot, which is 3 minutes on the clock, and then we'll get to hear the supporter of the motion give her own rebuttal. Don't forget, the judges are listening to us online and they'll be giving their results very shortly. All right, Chinaza, your time starts now.
Panel of judges, all protocol duly observed. I am here to emphasize my view and rebut some points given by my opponent. Once again, I disagree that cultism in school is a result of parental failure. 1. When my opponent insists that parents are the first teachers of a child, my opponent failed to realize that a child is affected more by the society than the home. According to studies, society shapes and reshapes human personality in such a way that we submit to social pressure. 2. Peer pressure. No matter how well or good a parent treats a child morally, a child will be influenced in one way or the other by peer groups. Is this also the fault of a child, the parent? No, certainly not. Remember, no child succeeds in isolation. 3. Victimization. Due to past experience of some individual, like harassment, assault, and bullying, individual may like to join a cult just to seek revenge. Is this also the fault of the parent? No. I believe with this few points of mine, I've been able to convince you all that cultism in school is not a result of parental failure. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much. 1 minute and 3 seconds on the clock. Chinaza with her rebuttal. We're going to get quickly to the supporter of the motion.
This is I Beg to Differ on 92.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation continues.
Talk radio.
92.3
Talk radio.
#1 talk.
All right, welcome back. We have Ejekwu joining us. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, it's time for you to rebut. You have to offer your rebuttal statement. Don't forget, the motion is all about cultism and the fault being the parents. So, once again, I go to my stopwatch. It's set back to 0. 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Panel of judges, all protocols duly observed. I still remain Ejekwu Tovia, and this is my rebuttal to what my opponent has said on the topic, cultism is as a result of parental failure. In Proverbs 22 verse 6, and it says, train up a child in the way he or she should grow, for when they grow up, they shall not depart from it. Number one, my opponents failed to mention that family is the first agent of socialization, so hence the first builders of morality in a child. So I leave to ask, who are the first agents of moral training in a child? I leave you to reflect on that. Number two, according to the Vanguard News report of October 3rd, 2023, most parents have failed to stand up to their duties in preventing the crime that youth commit. Number three, blaming teachers and society while forgetting that society is a meeting place for social actors like teachers are also in these conflicting arguments. Number four, in summary, most parents have failed to provide positive examples. 2. Failed in balancing work life and family life. 3. Faced financial strain. 4. Lack of discipline and boundaries. And there is also lack of emotional support for the child. With these points of mine, I hope I have convinced everyone here that cultism in school is as a result of parental failure. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. 1 minute and 27 seconds on the clock. And we're going for a break, and we'll be saying goodbye to the very first pair this morning. All right, so both of you can now ease up. All right, relax. Okay. Yes, what a battle it was. And you both, interestingly, were all under time. It has to be testament to your preparation. So the very best luck to both of you. All right, wish you the very best, okay? You can say okay. It's okay. It's fine. Okay. All right. So we'll take a breather. All right, and we get the next pair as we start this season's version of I Beg to Differ debate right here. It's only here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Good morning. The break coming up next, and then another pair. Nigeria Info. Now, the first debate is, or was rather, cultism in schools is a result of parental failure. And the supporter of the motion, Ejekwu Promise, went up against, Ejekwu Tovia, I beg your pardon, went up against Kalu, Chinaza, Sapphire. Now, the results have come in, 3 judges, and the scores for Ejekwu, 33, 25, 27, 33, 25, 27. For Kalu, 31, 23, 28. Now, in 2 of the results, the judges gave that round to Ejekwu Tovia, while one of the judges, the last judge, gave the round to Kalu. Now, based on points, 85 points for Ejekwu Tovia and 82 points for Kalu, Chinaza, Sapphire. So that means unequivocally that our first winner going to the next round is Ejekwu Tovia. Congratulations to her for doing so well. Alright, so now let's get the second pair in as we go into the second round, second set of conversations right here on I Beg to Differ.
I must say, some points made by my opponents are based on phobia of the social media.
Most parents even go to the extent of sending their children on an errand to go get them the drugs.
You experience
Second pair of contestants in the studio. All right, I'm going to put them out to the microphone immediately and have you say hello. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
I'm doing fine.
Okay, all right. So these are new faces. I need both of you to take a deep breath. There we go. All right, out, exhale. There we go. Deep breaths again. And out. Okay, all right, relax, all right, and then try and have fun. The air conditioner has been turned down, so you won't be feeling cold very shortly. So just relax. In the next 10 minutes maximum, we'll be out of here, and so that you guys can go back and battle more and prepare. So it's I Beg to Differ right here on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Our second debate topic this morning is school feeding programs contributes to a child or to children's education. School feeding programs contribute to children's education. Now, the supporter of the motion is Best Man Praise. That's you. Well, all right, you're Best Man Praise. Awesome. And then the person opposing, who is against the motion, is Irewole Busayo.
That's me.
That is you. I hope I pronounced the name properly.
Yes.
Irewole. Okay. All right. Good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have Best Man Praise and Busayo right now going on this topic. School feeding programs contribute to children's education. So deep breaths as we get to hear from our very first competitor.
This is I Beg to Differ on 92.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation continues in a moment.
All right, so best man praise. This is your first time here. Let me quickly run the rules by you. You have 3 minutes, right, for both your presentation and then for your rebuttal. All right, since you're spotting emotion, you get to start first. All right, and then followed by Busayo. Now, for the rebuttal, Busayo will start first, whilst you will return afterwards. Are we both good?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to ask you, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. So we have 3 minutes on the clock. The timer is just in front of you, okay? So you know when to wrap up and get your points quickly. But the most important thing is be calm and let's get to hear you. Once again, 3 minutes on the clock. Your time starts now.
There is a popular saying that a hungry man is an angry man. This also implies to a child and more. A hungry child is not just an angry child, but a deprived child. Before I go further, I would love to give respect to whom is due. Good day, moderator. Good day, panel of judges. Good day, my accurate timekeeper. Good day, my disputant debater, and my esteemed audience. I'm Bestman Praise Omar, and I'm from Government Girls Secondary School, Rumukuta. I'm going to present my views and strongly propose the notion that says secondary school feeding program contributes to children education. Before further ado, I'll go straightly to my point. Firstly, school feeding program reduces hunger for underprivileged children. The WFP, World Food Program, stated that over 436 billion people from last year contributed in the feeding meals in school. This also helps to reduce hunger as our government and organizations strive to ensure that children are given food as they learn and don't have to worry about food. Secondly, school food program encourages underprivileged children to come to school. By launching daily feeding programs, you're encouraging children and motivating them to come to school. And the parents don't have to bother about what the children will eat because they know they'll be properly fed in school. Thirdly, school feeding program helps to eradicate crimes in our society and school at large. School feeding program helps to it is incontestable that school feeding programs helps to eradicate crimes in our society because statistics have it that most children indulge in various crimes due to hunger and in the quest to satisfy their hunger. Lastly, food is the fuel necessary to go on in life and carry on our daily activities. Food is necessary, so when you don't eat adequately, students are liable to sleep at school and forget what they are being taught and don't pay attention. So when school feeding program don't only encourage children, but they help them to create a bright future. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. 2 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock. That was our first contestant this morning on the topic, school feeding programs actually helping the development of a child. It's time for us to get to hear from Busaya, who is opposing that motion. Stay tuned right here on 90.3 Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria
and the second round for this debate program. We've had the first ones come through, the first pair, now the second pair. Well, Praise has just laid down opening salvo. It's time for us to get to hear Busayo's opening salvo. I'm going to come straight to you, Busayo. Once again, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can.
And are you ready?
I am.
All right, the law is still the same. The rules have not changed. It is 3 minutes on the clock. Let's get to hear your opening salvo. 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Good day, moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debater, and everyone listening. My name is Ejekwu Busayo, and I'm opposing the motion. School feeding program contribute to children's education. Children's school fees. School feeding program does not contribute to a child's school. From the nutrition science that the nutrition contents of this food, it shows that this food lacks nutrients like iron and zinc, and it contains too much salt. And iron help in transporting oxygen throughout the body, while zinc help in making the brain function well and develop. So how would these children cope in school? Number 2, it reduces limited resources of a school. Now, how can a child be helped academically to perform well? It's by hiring qualified teachers and improving the educational facilities. But instead of them to put their resources on these things, they are focusing it on food. Food, I say, food. Number 3, loss of focus / distractions. Some students, when they come to school, their mind is on the food that they have to be served during the lunch break, and they are distracted when the teachers are teaching them. Some of them, they only come to school because they are interested in the food and indifferent towards the learning. They only consider the school as a restaurant where they come to eat and nothing more. Number 4, no healthy eating habits. According to a statistics conducted by National Bureau of Statistics, it shows that only 18% of the schools that offer this program have healthy feeding habits. They teach them healthy feeding habits and table manners. What happens to the remaining 82%? They don't teach them anything about healthy feeding habits. Number 5, it leads to students unknowingly eating food they are allergic to. When a child eats food that he or she is allergic to, he have reaction, and this may make the child to fall sick, and the child may miss school, and this affects his academic performance. Number 6, he or she may not eat food from home. As we all know about all the economic conditions that our nation is facing, no one can tell me they haven't heard about it. These parents, when they know that their children are going to be eating in school, they tell the child not to eat at home and come to school. And according to research conducted by Dr. Marlin Schwartz, it shows that children who eat at home before coming to school have higher productivity and better academic performance compared to children who do not eat at home before coming to school. And these children may even develop what we call ulcer, making the parents to spend more money on their treatment. The doctors can confirm with me that treatment of ulcer is very high. I hope with these points of mine, I've been able to convince you, beyond all reasonable doubt, that school feeding program does not contribute to children's education. Thank you very much. My name still remains Ejekwu Busayo.
All right, with just 5 seconds left, she has wrapped up her presentation. Not bad, not bad. Now we get to the rebuttal, and we're going to go on a quick break. Let them both catch their breaths, and then we return with the rebuttals right here on I Beg to Differ 2024.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
I must say, some points made by my opponents are based on phobia of social media.
Most parents even go to the extent of saying children will err to go to
Students are also from across the city to back the 3 Nigeria info. Now, what's very interesting is that all competitors actually did on the 3 minutes mark, so having the hear sound or indeed the time up sound in this case, which is indeed. So it means this batch of students have been totally grilled and they are well prepared for the task ahead. It's time to get to hear the rebuttals. To start with the opposer of the motion, and in this case it is Busayo. So Busayo, once again I'm going to come back to you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can, sir.
Okay, and are you ready with your rebuttals? All right, rules are 3 minutes on the top now.
Protocol duly observed. Mine still remains Ejekwu Busayo, and I'm here to counter some of the points my opponent said. I heard my opponent say that it reduced hunger, but I beg to differ, because the food that are provided for the students in the food these feeding programs are of poor quality. So if it's of poor quality, it will even make the parents spend money because the child. And how would the parents be able to cope for medical expenses? Instead of parents to look at medical expenses, he rather provide the 3 square meals for the children. I also encourage unprivileged children to go to school. But is school a place where you just need people to fill the seats? No, it isn't. You come to school to learn, and if you're bringing unprivileged children to come to school just for eating, they haven't gained anything. Number 3, I heard my opponent say that it eradicates crime in the society. The child eats food in school, so what happens to the parents? Does it mean that parents don't involve themselves in crimes? I also heard my opponent say that food is the fuel necessary to go on in life. I agree with you. Food is actually the fuel necessary to go on in life. Is this feeding programs the fuel necessary to go on in life? With these poor feeding qualities that they are providing the children, do you think they will even have the energy to move on in life? With all this I've said, I hope being able to counter my opponents. I strongly believe that school feeding programs do not contribute to children's education. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. 1 minute and 33 seconds on the clock. They are on the roll this morning. A quick breather and we get to hear praises, rebuttal statements.
This is I Beg to Differ on 92.3 Nigeria Info. The conversation continues in a moment.
Alright, so welcome back. I Beg to Differ. We get to speak to Praise right now. Praise, good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, and you can hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, alright, so Praise, very quickly. You have 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
My name is Bestman Omar Praise, and I'm countering the points my opponent made. She said it reduces limited resources of school. School feeding program boosts and stimulates local food production and boosts the income of farmers, whereby generating revenue allocation for rural areas and communities, especially schools. So I counter the point, it reduces limited resources because it helps in generating revenue. She also said no healthy feeding habits. Most people in charge of school feeding program are well tutored and ministers in their different fields. So I don't see how they will issue out low healthy feeding habits. She also said poor quality of food meal. We have agencies like NAFDAC that checkers food and other agencies. So if the government are bringing school feeding programs, they will include and inculcate this organization to cross-check and check the food they are going to issue out. She also said loss of focus and distraction. A student that comes to learn is studying. There's no way a food will distract a child because he knows his aim. And even in the house, when conducting assignments and other things, you will not say because of food you will leave what you're doing if it's important to you. So it does not distract or make students to lose focus. I am Omar Praise Bestman. I'm still on the notion that school feeding program contributes to children's education. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Once again, under 2 minutes, these students have obviously been grilled by their teachers or their tutors. Well, we'll take a breather right now and say thank you to our guests, both of them, to our contestants, Praise and Busai. But before we go, all right, guys, okay, I can see your chest actually beating. Calm down. Here we go. Praise, relax. Well done. to you as well, Busayo.
Thank you.
How did you find the first time being here? I can see your sweater is obviously coming in handy. You're not feeling very cold. Seriously. Well, I hope you're not too cold. You didn't come with a sweater. That's why I turned it down, so you should be comfortable, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So before I let you go, have you guys ever debated in school before now?
Yes.
Okay. So you were in a debate club or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, social prefect actually.
Okay. Praise the social prefect. What about you?
I
Busa?
actually debated in school and I also do public speech.
Okay, all right. So both of you are just ripe for this conversation. So I'm going to ask you guys to please step aside. Thank you very much for getting the judges to have their results sent to us right after the commercial. I beg to differ returns, and what a time it has been. Stay tuned. in preparing these students for this particular challenge. And to you also, the listeners, for those of you who are following us on Facebook and X, it's been a pleasure getting to read your comments and also seeing you guys actually even debate amongst yourselves. Well, the results are in. Now, the first judge scores as follows: Praise 27, Busaya 28. The second judge, Praise 21, Busaya 32, and the third judge, Praise gets 35 points and Busaya gets 39 points. So it's a unanimous decision in this particular round, and it is going to Busaya. Busaya makes it into the next round. A big congratulations to her. Absolutely fantastic. Best man praise and Busaya actually doing a very impressive job. Both of them, I think it was very difficult. Maybe one or two differences in the way they presented their points, but on the whole, a great performance from I. Time around. What are you waiting for?